Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Ah, ça, je vois que... Bon, je le laisse là pour que je vois un peu dans le noir. Mais c'est encore un petit slider que tu m'as préparé là. Please adjust the slider until the dog and the cats are friends. Ouais. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. 9. Until you stop adjusting the slider. Voilà. Which of the two made-up worlds below is most appealing to you? Okaboinko, Scrumptious. Oh, Scrumptious. Please don't adjust the slider. Do you know what time it is right now? Oui. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? Je pense que ouais. Même si bon, on vient de faire le changement d'heure, donc on peut se demander... What is time anyway? No. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yes. Help. No. Will you come back to visit me? Really? Ok, à chaque fois qu'on lance le jeu, il y a un truc différent. Et... Vamos, vamos, vamos. Ok, donc là, personnellement, je me suis fait une flowchart moi-même de ce que j'ai fait et ce que je n'ai pas fait. Parce que j'avais l'impression d'avoir un peu tout fait. Donc en fait, ce que je vais voir, j'ai l'impression d'avoir tout fait un peu avec le bucket. Donc peut-être qu'il y a d'autres alternatives sans le bucket. Alors les ordis, il n'y a pas un truc... Donc je ne vais pas prendre le bucket et ça fait longtemps que je ne suis pas allée à droite. Et oui. Regarde s'il y a des trucs différents, mais bon, à chaque fois c'est la même chose ici.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Alors là, je vais essayer d'aller... Je sais pas trop où je vais, mais...
Eager to get back to business,
je vais aller
Stanley
en
took the
face.
first open door on his left.
Parce que là, de toute façon, on sait... Ah non, je ne sais plus ce qui se passe quand on descend sans le bucket. Mais je sais que je l'ai déjà fait. Donc au pire, j'irai voir ce que j'ai fait.
It's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ok.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
Ah!
foot here. I'm not your
On va aller là, comme ça, il n'y a pas le collectible between red and blue. Et je pense que c'est là avec les portes là. Après j'irai là-bas aussi.
Really?
What?
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Allez.
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment.
Wow,
this is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
Oui.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Oh, j'ai vraiment pas de succès. Oh là là. Je peux retourner là-haut ou pas? Non. Donc, d'après ma petite flowchart, le red, c'est le space avec là où j'ai fait mon backflip. Et le blue, c'est le Rocket League. C'est quoi c'est quoi le plus rapide? Ah, on va jouer à Rocket League.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Ah non, le bébé.
You see?
Je vais devoir tout refaire. Parce que là, en fait, j'hésite à restart. Parce que si je restart, est-ce que j'ai quand même le collectible?
Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Est-ce que ça, c'est d'autres endroits où je peux aller? Parce que là, j'y suis jamais allée là-bas. Je sais qu'on me met dans un autre endroit ici avec le bébé, mais là, c'est pas le bébé, là.
Work with me, you've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Parce que je suis déjà allée par là et ça m'a emmené au même endroit. Et si je vais là-bas, ça m'amène encore au même endroit? Ah ouais.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices?
Bon, j'avais fait 1 et 5. On va faire au milieu.
Feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ah, c'est vrai. Worldwide leaderboard. Ah, tous les endings. C'est quoi les minutes, les... Skip the intro sequence. Je suis dernière. 7:37, 7:30. Ok. Bon. Si on tourne là. Ok, ça amène quand même.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Bon, j'ai déjà fait 1 et 5.
Honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Firewatch.
Let me boot it up.
Donc ouais, j'ai cherché le nom du jeu. Le pire, c'est que le jeu est dans ma wishlist sur Steam.
Towards danger.
Donc,
you click the button to move him back to the right. And if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Imagine, il y avait un succès vraiment, faire les 4 heures de bébé. Oh non, je suis arrivée trop tard pour le bouton, dis donc.
You heartless bastard.
Oh là là.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try.
Tu sais, ils crament même pas les bébés, les fire resistant.
It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Allez, Firewatch.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Hop là. Fermez la fenêtre, hein, fais gaffe. Hein. Bon, je fais juste la ending encore une fois parce que je voulais que ça sauvegarde mon collectible.
No,
c'est juste pour ça.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Allez hop.
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Il y a un mur.
You really wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
Est-ce que si je monte, il dit un truc?
I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Boom! Je sais même pas viser.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Allez, c'est la fin du jeu là. Are you having fun?
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Hold on. What are you doing?
Allez hop. Je nous facilite la vie.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help
cabinet.
you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
En fait, je tombe dans tous les cas là. Ah, c'est vrai, ici. Est-ce qu'il y a un autre endroit que là où j'étais avant? Ouais, mais en fait, c'est tellement plus rapide ce chemin-là. Donc non, il n'y a qu'un endroit parce que... Est-ce que là c'est beau, tu me comptes? Allez.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
Very soon.
Very soon. I can wait.
Allez, on respawn. Pouf. Rien n'a changé, je peux toujours pas écrire sur mon ordi. Et si là j'écris des numéros? Non, ça marche pas. Je voulais dire des lettres, pas des numéros. Toujours pas de input machine. Ah!
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh!
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Let's go, let's go. Est-ce qu'il y a des trucs ici? Copy machine. Il a des boxes. Bon. Wow. Alors. Apparemment, j'avais manqué un petit caillou. Faut que je le trouve. Now remembering when Stanley found collectibles. Ah donc peut-être il sera pas là le caillou après. I don't know. Ici il n'y a rien. Alors, il y a quoi dedans? Je veux manger. Ici, il y a quelque chose qui a changé ou pas? Cargo, time, plaf. Oh, il n'y a rien là-dessus. Avant, il y avait un carton style... Je sais pas si c'était un jeu de société, mais... Est-ce que ici il y a des images d'autre chose? The greatest wealth is memory.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Ouh là là! 7 sur 6? Ah non, ça me dérange. Comment ça, 7 sur 6? Ça, c'est la boss's office, là, on dirait. C'est bien ça? Executive bathroom.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Je vais sortir! Non. Oh!
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Your third? C'était quoi? Dans notre premier, c'était... Si là, elle a dit c'était le deuxième, je crois que mon troisième, c'était Under the Stairs. Et c'est quoi Boss's Office? Je crois que c'était ça. Hein.
No, 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 no. Under the stairs was the fourth place you found a fig Anley, not the third.
Bah, je savais pas.
Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If under the stairs feels like the third place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
Et là, maintenant, je vais de l'autre côté?
Let's see. What came next?
What is that? I never went there?
Oh, yes, we found a figly in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room,
no?
But it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
On n'a jamais vu de... 10 sur 6. Pourquoi vous me faites ça? Hello.
This was the fifth mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
A video? Oh wow! How you found it by the narrator. What's that back there? Oh, it's the Stanley ring. It's mini stand number 5. High five. You found it near the cargo lift. Thanks for watching.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Ah, ça c'était récemment, ça.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other, except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Okay, both of them are going this way. La 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 la. Hello? Oh, c'est ce que je regarde. You are in the present.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh, no. Memory zone.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Aha! Let's go.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
Let's go.
I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
Moi aussi. Ah oui, the pink one.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Very pink.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Est-ce qu'on va aller dans la boss's room ou pas? Apparently not. Oh, l'ambiance elle est sombre, hein?
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Eh ouais. Oh, collect them all. Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them? Ah, ça c'est dans le 2. Collectibles. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, the jump circle. The jump circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
Oh,
look how much fun the past is. I want more. Oh, yes, the 2 doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Eh ouais. Is this the same? Okay, yeah.
And before
My
everything
office.
else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember.
The loading screen.
I can remember.
I can remember.
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Oh.
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore.
What?
Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
C'est vraiment the last one? Et après ils me disent vous pouvez plus jouer au jeu? I'm Stanley, I'm still here. Hello.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hello Bucket, this may be the last time I see you. I'm not gonna pick you up. Am I going to pick you up? Je voulais faire un truc, mais je pourrais le faire après. Pour cette dernière fois, viens avec moi.
Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No, no, surely not.
Tu vois, là, on a number one. Je veux élucider ça, moi.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
En fait, je sais pas quoi faire là. Est-ce que c'est juste une run normale ou à un moment il va se passer un truc? Parce que si c'est juste une run normale, bah je sais pas quoi faire parce que je crois que j'ai tout fait avec le bucket.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Je sais pas quoi faire là, parce que ce que je voulais faire c'était sans le bucket. Faut vraiment juste me suicider avec le bucket.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death.
Oh non, est-ce qu'il y a
that they
Marie là?
might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Ah, tu vois, je respawn quand même. Bon.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
En fait,
mean?
pour les inputs, faut que je fasse ça.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Faut
he
que
had
je
simply
me
missed a
suicide
memo.
là-bas et que je revienne et j'appuie sur l'ordi et... Tu vois? Attends, je vais faire ça maintenant. Hein. Là, il y a encore. Bon, en vrai, je vais faire ce que je voulais faire là. Et après, je vais continuer.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Et aussi, il y a un truc que je dois voir, c'est
Stanley was
que
so bad at following
j'ai
directions.
vu
It's
sur,
incredible he wasn't
j'ai vu
5
des
years
vidéos.
ago.
Je sais même pas que c'était ce jeu-là, mais
Look,
où
Stanley, I
il
think
y a
perhaps we've
un
gotten
bug
off on the wrong
qu'ils
foot
ont
here.
pas fixe,
I'm
mais
not
qu'ils
your enemy,
ont
really,
transformé
I'm
dans
not.
une part of the
I
game.
realize that investing your trust in someone
Et
else
c'était
can be
avec une
difficult,
lumière,
but the fact
enfin genre
is that the
les
story
fenêtres
has
que tu
been
peux
about
passer dans la
nothing but
fenêtre,
you
et je n'ai
all
pas
this
encore
time. There's
trouvé. C'est
someone
pour ça
you've
des
been
fois je me mets près des
neglecting,
fenêtres parce que je veux tester
Someone
d'avoir
you've
le truc.
forgotten about.
Mais je sais
Please,
pas où c'est et
stop
comment
trying
le
to make
faire.
every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Voilà.
That's her, Stanley.
Ici apparemment il y a un truc à faire.
To do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I'm gonna unplug it.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No,
oui.
That wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double-check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's
Free
not possible.
will.
I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Je m'ai démasqué, je
I
suis
can't
Jim.
believe I was so mistaken.
I am Jim.
This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Huh?
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
My God, this is 4:30.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Okay.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Il y a des 8 partout. 8. Marqué quoi? Je dis rien si je reste là. If I wanna plug it again. No. I wanna go there. Bon, quoi, on va remonter jusqu'à mon
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Hop là! J'ai toujours pas de passe pour ouvrir la porte. Ah, la porte elle est pas ouverte là. Okay, the lounge room.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ah, what do I do? Juste envie de voir.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Ah ouais. Il est quelle heure? Ah, c'est même fait exprès qu'il y ait des bugs de texture là-haut. Non. If I come back here. Ok, non. Faut que j'aille dans l'autre. La porte c'est pas fermée.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way.
I have to go to the red door.
Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
No! I have to go to the red room. Je peux pas sauter, donc je peux pas sauter. Oh! Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
D'aller là. Au pire, je peux recréer cet ending. Parce que je peux encore unplug the phone.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ah, il me dit plus rien. Why?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Ah, ça n'avait pas capté que j'étais passé.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
Bon,
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Allez. Nope. Oh.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Tout ça, j'ai déjà lu, ça n'a rien changé. I cannot go in the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ah, est-ce que c'est là que je vais avoir une réponse de l'élévateur qui marche pas? Why is it all green?
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown.
Ça demande l'accès à mon micro?
A sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
No.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Yeah. Night Shark 115.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect.
C'est toi, t'as pas accès à mon
The
micro.
kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
Night Shark 115.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Je me vois. It's me.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end.
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
Deluxe.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
C'est la fin du jeu?
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know.
Je sais pas si j'ai vraiment fini le jeu.
The story needs
que j'ai tout fait.
So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Ah, but I come back here. Mais est-ce qu'il reste vraiment des trucs à faire ou pas?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Ou c'est vraiment la fin? Je ne sais pas en fait. Est-ce que c'est vraiment la fin?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bon, j'ai envie d'avoir le truc où je sors de la fenêtre là. Mais je sais pas comment le faire. Et j'ai envie de finir les trucs d'ordinateur là. Le jeu est peut-être vraiment fini. Hein. C'est quoi le truc le plus rapide? C'est de se suicider, je crois. Si je vais left, je vais up ou down, up comme ça. Ouais, non, c'est. Là, je vais me suicider là-bas.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
de restart un petit peu beaucoup pour finir les inputs, je sais pas quoi.
Stanley,
si c'est possible.
but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Et c'est peut-être vraiment la fin du jeu. Hein.
Stanley was so bad at following directions. It's incredible.
Après, j'ai peut-être fait toutes les fins, mais j'ai peut-être pas fait tous les dialogues.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in
Parce
control of the story,
je sais que j'ai pas fait le truc de la
do,
fenêtre.
Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Ah, je
Good
sais
job, Stanley.
que je n'ai pas eu tous les
Everyone thinks
succès.
you are very powerful.
Il m'en manque 2. Possiblement faisables. Et
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Comment j'ai ces Ces trucs là. Je sais pas ce qu'il faut que je fasse. Ça se trouve, je peux allumer des ordis aussi, non? Non. I don't really know what to do. I don't really know what to do. J'essaie de restart encore une fois.
When Stanley came
Mais
to
bon,
a
je sais
set
pas
of
si ça
two
sert à
open
grand
doors, this
chose.
was
Hein.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Là, je tente
Stanley was so
juste
bad at following
d'avoir
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired
les
years
ordis.
ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Careful with time. Non, l'horloge, elle est pas là, elle est de l'autre côté. Ah, une horloge là. Ah oui. Là, il est 1 heure plus tard. La petite, c'est sur le 11. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? What does it mean? Est-ce que c'est tout le temps quand on a ces ordis-là? Et bah c'est le time. Ah mais là, non, celle-là, elle marque l'heure. Ah, il y en a qui ont fait le changement d'heure et d'autres non. C'est ça. Je sais pas quoi. I don't know what to do. Attends, lui, je l'avais pas éteint? Est-ce que t'as des ordinateurs qui se rallument tout seuls? Non, là, tout est éteint. Pourquoi il y a une petite boîte comme ça, là? Je veux aller dehors. Laissez-moi sortir. Oh! Ah!
At first, Stanley assumed he'd
Je
broken the
résiste!
map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Ouais.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Ouais.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected Continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. I cannot click on the no. Can I click on the yes? I cannot click on the yes either. Oh, donc je dois recommencer le truc, hein? Vu que je peux pas cliquer, je pense que oui. Bon, allez. Allez, on refait et on fait l'autre.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh non, mais est-ce que ça a annulé mon
Stanley
input?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ta-da!
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Yeah.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Ah, la musique?
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
Oh.
But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton.
Hey, tu fais des rimes, hein?
He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Yes.
You too will become quite unbearable.
Parable. La musique, c'est bien. Est-ce que ça reste comme ça, la musique, et ça fait une boucle ou pas? Ou il y a une fin? Dun, dun, dun. Et là, c'est fini. Ah, ok, c'est la fin. C'est en boucle, c'est en boucle. Et je me dis que quand on a unplug the phone, on n'a pas tenté de le unplug avec le bucket. N'allons pas tenter de le unplug avec le bucket. Allez.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Mama, 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 mama.
As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets.
Ok,
everywhere.
on va
This adventure, he decided,
tenter
was for
d'unplug
all
avec
of them. Stanley clutched the bucket
le
tightly
bucket.
to his. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket
Il me
turned
manque
out
un
to be
peu le
correct?
grand
Well,
closet.
no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
No.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley, once again, obeyed blindly.
Est-ce que ici aussi il y a un téléphone?
Now pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things.
Quoi?
Buckets can't talk. It was
No.
a joke. Don't you get the joke?
Bucket?
It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
Mais non.
It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Okay.
To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next,
Jim.
provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm
Let's practice
Dunny
screaming,
with the funny.
"I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny. I'm Dunny
Good.
with the funny.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian.
Est-ce que je vais
An
devoir
effective
rate la
survey should be
joke
no less
du
than 10
narrateur?
pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random.
Ah ouais.
And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Ok.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery.
Ok,
Come on,
je vais
let's
t'évaluer.
head back.
Je vais t'évaluer. Je peux toujours pas remettre. Allez. Sois drôle. Hein.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we have the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now? Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Do not lie. If you're lying right now, stop. Merci. J'attends ta blague, hein? Il est long le silence, hein?
Here we go. You ready? When
Alright.
Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off.
Bah ouais.
Joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself.
Ah, donc à gauche aussi,
I
c'était
don't
ça?
deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again.
Encore?
Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Chaque fois j'ai envie de tester les mauvais trucs. Hein. Ah ok, bon ça me remet juste là.
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
Ok.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes.
En fait, les fins avec le phone, c'est là à la fin.
I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not...
Il a pas le bucket avec lui. Excusez-moi
with
qu'il est...
shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so
Wonderful.
metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Ok, donc en fait... Donc ouais. Je pense avoir fini cette fin-là, parce que en fait, plus j'allais à droite, plus ça me retépait là. Et après, quand je suis finally allée à gauche...
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
En fait, cette horloge-là, elle est juste mal réglée à chaque fois. C'est juste ça. Par contre, là, que faisons-nous? Parce que Je dis ça à chaque fois, mais j'ai l'impression qu'on a tout fait. Révisons la flowchart. Nous avons le start. Le start, nous sommes restés dans le bureau. Nous avons une fin. Premier truc, left or right. On a le choix soit entre... Allez, à gauche ou à droite, logiquement. On va y aller, comme ça on montre où c'est.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left. Ensuite, on a le staircase. Les escaliers, quand on va en bas, ça met que en bas, c'est le fake bucket, quand on a le bucket. Et sans le bucket, ça nous fait... on fait une crise, on devient fou, on devient insane et on voit tout rouge et on explose. Si on monte dans les escaliers, après, on arrive à la boss's office, on a l'elevator qu'on peut faire up and down, up and down, up and down. Donc sans le bucket, on va à la conference où il y a des gens. Mais avec le bucket, c'est la conférence 3 où il n'y a personne qui vient. Si on fait pas ça avec l'elevator et qu'on va en bas de l'elevator, on a un choix entre Mind Control Facility et Escape. Si on prend Escape, quand on a le bucket, on va à la Bucket Exhibit. Mais quand on n'a pas le bucket, on va à la Game Exhibit. Et c'est 2 fins. Si on va pas à l'Escape, mais on va à la Mind Control Facility, et qu'on turn on, avec le bucket, on a Silly Birds, et sans le bucket, on a... Il y a l'explosion de toute la facility. Mais si on fait off et on prend pas contrôle de la facility, quand on n'a pas le bucket, c'est la fin du jeu où on suit, où on obéit au narrateur.
He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Ah, je savais pas qu'il y avait ça. Donc, je disais que c'était la fin quand on écoutait le narrateur, et que c'est les ends et on devient libre et on s'en va. Mais quand on a le bucket, et bah, ça nous donne une fausse fin, et en fait, on meurt tous les deux, Bucket et moi, à un pas de la liberté. Donc ça, c'était toute la partie left. Normalement, je crois... Ah, mais aussi la partie left, c'est... Je ne sais pas si l'elevator dans la room avec le panda, là, qui c'est un fake truc. Oh, le franglish. Je pense que c'est juste un troll, mais je sais pas s'il y a un truc derrière. Donc ça, c'était toute la partie left. Partie droite. On va dans la lounge room, blablabla. Et là, on a un choix. Soit on obéit et on va door on the left, soit on continue tout droit. Si on va door on the left et qu'on obéit encore, on continue et on arrive du côté left. Donc ça, c'est comme si on était allé du côté left. Mais si on descend à l'elevator, avec le bucket, c'est le bucket destroyer, où tu dois destroy le bucket, mais on le fait pas. Et je ne sais plus, je sais qu'on l'a fait, mais je ne sais plus ce que ça fait quand on down sans le bucket. I don't remember. Faut aller voir. Si du coup on ne va pas à la door on the left, mais on continue tout droit jusqu'au fond et qu'on arrive dans le truc des cargo lifts là. Soit on peut sauter et on se suicide avec ou sans le bucket, ça fait 2 petites fins différentes. On prend le left. Si on va tout droit et qu'on continue le chemin du lift normal, on a la apartment ending. Quand on décroche le phone, on a la apartment ending, soit avec ma femme sans le bucket, soit avec le bucket quand j'ai le bucket. Mais si on unplug the phone, eh ben c'est ce qu'on vient de faire maintenant. C'est ce qu'on vient de faire maintenant, donc j'ai oublié. Avec le bucket, c'est... Bref, vous revenez quelques minutes en arrière. Mais si, dans le lift, on va pas jusqu'au bout, mais qu'on descend sur le côté droit, avec le bucket et ben on peut pas entrer parce qu'il y a marqué No buckets allowed. Donc il y a le quiz sur le bucket, qu'est-ce qui est un bucket, qu'est-ce qui n'est pas un bucket, ça c'est une fin. Mais si on n'a pas le bucket, on va soit dans la porte rouge ou bleue. D'ailleurs c'est là où on a trouvé le collectible tout à l'heure. Si on va dans la porte rouge, c'est là où on nous envoie dans l'espace et tout, mais qu'on est obligé de se suicider en haut des escaliers. Donc ça c'est une fin. Mais si on va dans la porte bleue, on va faire le truc avec le bébé, les trucs de notes, le leaderboard, Firewatch, Rocket League. Ou Rocket League, on peut soit tomber plus rapidement dans les trous des goals, soit il fait spawn plus de ballons, mais de toute façon on doit folle dedans. Dans les deux cas, c'est la fin, et je viens de décrire tout le jeu. Donc maintenant, on fait quoi? Bon, on va aller voir, vu que je sais plus ce que c'est, on va aller down the elevator. Juste pour voir ce que c'était. Mais sinon là, je suis peut-être vers la fin du jeu. Je ne sais pas, parce que je sais qu'il me manque 2 succès, je sais pas si c'est par rapport à une fin ou un truc. Là, ici. Je ne sais plus ce que c'est en bas. Après, il y a aussi tout ce qui est pas refaisable maintenant. Donc, par exemple, le new content, ça on a eu qu'une seule fois. Le truc du whiteboard aussi. Ah oui, ok, là je m'en rappelle. Enfin, juste là. Il va fermer la porte. Pouf.
Oh no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right.
Et là, c'est là.
Why would I have ever said it was to the right?
Et après, il y a des escaliers vers la droite, mais je ne sais plus vers où ça me mène.
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Ok, et là, je ne sais plus ce que c'est.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to
Et là, ça me fait juste respawn.
It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Ok, donc c'était juste spoiler.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Le seul truc que je sais pas, c'est les ordinateurs là. Et les waiting for inputs là. Ça nous fait 1, 2, mais est-ce que c'est volontaire que ce soit un truc inutile? Je ne sais pas. Là, je pense que je suis dans un état de chercher ce qui me manque à faire. Parce que là, j'ai plus trop d'inspi, j'avoue. Sachant que j'ai déjà eu les crédits là, avec le Unplug the Phone. Donc ça se trouve, c'est vraiment la fin du jeu. Je sais pas. Mais moi, c'est les 2 succès qui me taraudent la tête. Ça se trouve aussi, c'est seulement quand tu redémarres le jeu pour la 4e fois que tu le relances. Alors que là, attends, là, ça fait la combien de fois? 1, 2, 3... Ah, là, c'était la 4e. Bah, ça se trouve, au bout de la 5e fois que tu lances le jeu, et bah, ça met un autre truc. On peut tenter, hein. Tentons. Quit to menu. Là, je crois que ça va rien capter sur le truc. Mais je vais relancer le jeu. Stanley Parable. Relançons le jeu. Là, normalement, vous voyez. Ouais, c'est bon. Il va me demander l'heure. Oh, what time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Mais est-ce que ça c'est le narrateur qui me parle ou c'est quelqu'un d'autre, c'est le jeu? Sure, I've adjusted all of the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. And I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time! But that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to live. Nah! There's still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me? Huh? Talk soon? Comment ça, if you can find me? Epilogue? What is that?